Good morning all. So I was watching the excellent Dan Wootton this morning, and he was talking about some of the mainstream news presenters, broadcasters, James O'Brien, Sheila Fogarty, Susanna Reid, Emily Maitlis, just to name a few, and their apparent efforts in years gone by to seemingly almost deliberately throw everyone off course when it comes to the grooming gangs, and it got me thinking, guys. Right, this is the terrible situation, the truth of the situation when it comes to the mainstream media and the grooming gang issue. Now, before I go any further, I want to make it absolutely clear for anyone watching this is that I don't speak for anyone else. I speak for myself. My words and comments belong to me alone. I'm not perpetuating the comments of anyone else. This is just what I believe as a granddad, right? Now, I've said all along, from the day I started talking about politics, I've said all along that, frankly, I don't give a flying fig what colour, race, religion or culture a nonce comes from. A nonce is a nonce, and every single one of them should be brought to book, brought to justice and slung in jail. And if I had my way, they'd never get out ever again, because there is no worse crime than a crime against children, right? That's just what I believe, and no one will ever change my mind on that. Now, whilst people like myself, and I believe that many of you watching this right now, and 99.9% of the people that are involved in the patriotic movement, for want of a better expression, they feel the same. They don't really care what colour or religion that these nonces are. They just care that they're nonces and they want them put away. The caveat to that, here's the difference between people like myself, people like you watching this now. Whilst we don't care about where these people come from, we just want to see bad guys put in prison. The people that Dan Wootton mentioned, it seems to be the opposite for them. They do care what colour, race and religion these nonces are, because they have seemingly and apparently, and for me quite obviously, been in denial for years over this stuff. And surely they must know. Deep down, they must know. If you watch Dan Wootton's video, if you look at the expression on the face of James O'Brien, his body language, he is sitting there as guilty as sin, knowing full well that he has been protecting a group of people. When I say protecting, I mean verbally defending on his show now for years. Gaslighting the nation, trying to convince anyone that is gullible enough to believe that there wasn't a problem or a particular problem, when we all goddamn know that there is. If there wasn't, there wouldn't be a national independent inquiry into the grooming gangs, would there? Even the Labour Party are now admitting it. Now, for me, I don't know what to make of this, because I will never, ever, ever trust Keir Starmer, ever. But something has happened. I don't know what. I can't work it out. But something has happened, because if you look at the list of Labour Party MPs, if you look at the names of Labour Party MPs who voted against the grooming gang inquiry not so long ago at all, there are hundreds of them. Now their leader is saying that we need an inquiry. Now, I'd love to read out that list, but it will probably take me about 20 minutes to read that list out of names of Labour Party MPs who voted against a public inquiry into grooming gangs across the nation. Just think about that for a moment. They voted against it. They didn't want it. Why? That's the question, why. And the bigger question is, why now is their leader saying that there should be one, there must be one? In many respects, many of us feel that a public inquiry, a national inquiry into grooming gangs, is political suicide for the Labour Party. It will destroy them forever. because many people believe, I'm not saying there are, I'm just saying that many people believe that a lot of political figures involved in the Labour Party have been complicit in covering up this grooming gang scandal in the past. This is, without a doubt, in my humble opinion, the biggest story that's ever going to hit the political system in the United Kingdom, ever, by far. I can't think of a bigger one, because it is going to it's going to implicate so many people in senior positions. But what we mustn't forget is the facilitators, the people that have been publicly denying it for a very long time. And there are hundreds of them working for the mainstream media. Each and every one of them should be remembered by the public, should be remembered by their families and their friends for what they've done. And what they've done is deny, or try to deny, our children justice because of their racism, not because of anyone else's. Because of their desperate their desperate need to deny that anyone that's a little bit darker than me could possibly be responsible for such a heinous crime, when all along none of us give a goddamn monkeys what shade colour your skin is. We just care about the crime, and it's the crime that should always have mattered. And these people have let their country down, they've let themselves down, they've let their families down, they've let the judicial system down, but worst of all, they've let down the victims, the children. And they have to live with that now. They have to live with that for the rest of their lives. But I don't actually think they care, because they are such odious people, quite clearly, totally incapable of ever admitting that they were wrong. And they will never admit that they were wrong. They'll now talk about this like they're part of the group that is revealing the problem, and they are now uncovering the issue. No, don't fall for that. They've known all along. These people are not stupid. They betrayed our children for money. That's a fact. They betrayed our children for money. Now, for the record, I'm not talking about any one person in particular. I'm talking about all of them, every single one of them. If the cat fits, they can wear it. What should happen to these people? Well, they haven't broken any laws, have they? They haven't broken any laws as such. Like I said, this is a crime of conscience. And they will pay the penalty themselves for living with that on their conscience for the rest of their lives, or they should do at least. And we, the nation, the public, the people, the genuine people, the people that just care about peace, harmony, love and safety for our children above everything else, we should never forget. We should never forget who they are, what they did and why they did it. And it doesn't matter what community you come from, you should also remember, because just as much as they do it to us, if the money was right, they'd do it to you, because that's what these people do. They're not journalists, and they will follow whatever agenda they are given, and all in return for money. So let's get it right. Let's have this absolutely right for everyone. This has never been about anyone's race. It has never been about anyone's religion. It's about people bringing a culture to this country that is not compatible with our way of life, with our laws and with our beliefs. The fact that they happen to be a different religion and in many cases a different colour is completely and utterly irrelevant. And whilst the media have desperately tried to point out that the vast majority of people that commit this sort of crime are white, well, that goes without saying, right? It's about proportionality and disproportionality. We all know that 99% of people that go to a football match on a Saturday afternoon go to enjoy the game. They go with their families, with their kids. They go to enjoy the match, no problem. But the media don't talk about them, do they? The media talk about the 1% or whatever it is these days that go to a football match to cause trouble. They're the ones that are the problem. They're the ones where the police have set up special units to deal with them. And we all know that they're not in the majority. We all know that they're a massive minority in the grand scheme of things, but they are a significant number of people that are causing a huge problem, so the police deal with it. Why has this been any different? Well, we all know why it's been different. So what's the moral of this video? What's the point of it? Well, the point of it is that we must never ever forget, like I've already said, we must never forget these people will live with their actions for the rest of their lives. Like I said, not that they probably will ever care, but it's really important to me that they know that we know. They know that the public know. When they walk down the road, the public are looking at them thinking, you fought against this, you denied it. And, you know, like I said, they've got to live with their own conscience. And for me, that's the best punishment that they can receive, because if they've got anything about them at all, any heart inside them whatsoever, they'll find that difficult to come to terms with. Right, guys, that's it for now. It is just coming up 10 o'clock here, and it's already about 90 degrees in old money, and it's going to be another bloody hot one. So have a good week, and I'll speak to you soon. Love to you all. Take care.